What's going on, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy, and today I'm going to be doing my Roon deck tech. This is the first time I've actually done my Roon deck tech, though this deck has been with me for a couple of months. I feel like I built it around like Christmas or something, honestly maybe even before then, and I really wanted to do this deck tech because I have been kind of like procrastinating doing it, and it's not for like any reason other than I'm like, well, it has to be perfect and I want to make sure that I love every card, and it's just like decks are not perfect and they're changing all the time, and deck techs are some of the most popular videos on my channel. You guys seem to really like them. This deck is pretty standard. Like, I don't feel like there's anything in here that I'm like, oh my gosh, it's earth-shattering. Like, you know, I don't think I run anything that is like insanely unique in this deck, I would say. Though I didn't really go off of anyone's list. Like, I just kind of like accumulated and like was like, hey, like these are cards that I think are really good, but it's a standard Roon Blink deck. Like, there's not a lot to, you know, really say, but I really hope you guys like this video. The deck will be listed in the down bar below if you want to check it out. And the other thing I wanted to say is I feel like this is a really good budget deck, so if you're like thinking about building Roon, I feel like you can definitely do it around $100. This deck that I have, that I'm going to show you with all the cards, is around $300. The reason that I think that it's more expensive is because I have like foil cards and I have like more, you know, like random like foils and things like that, like more specialty cards. But honestly, I think you can definitely build Roon in a budget, and especially with that mana base, you could probably almost solely run all basics in this deck. I do run a couple non-basics, which we'll actually get into first. So I run my, yeah, this is like pretty standard, but I have my basics and I do 8 plains, 8 forests, and 7 islands in this. I run one less island. I actually just took it out for some card that I got, and for a fetch land that I got, and this is pretty straightforward. A lot of the cards that you run in this deck are going to be like ETB effects, so like you're gonna want things that are basic, so you want to run a lot of basics in this deck, which is one reason that I feel like this deck can be potentially more on the budget end. But that's pretty straightforward. Then we get into kind of like specialty lands. I run 12. I'm gonna actually move you guys a little bit closer. The first one I run is Ash Barrens. I just really like this card. I feel like this is a really good addition in any type of deck. I really like it. It filters lands and it's really, really cheap in terms of like it's only basic land cycling for 1. Then I run Bant Panorama. It's so funny. I've had this card for honestly so long, and I was like, I never knew what to do with it because I was like, one day I'll build a Bant deck, and then I finally built Roon. Like, I love these colors. This is like really truly, I feel like a deck that I feel is me, you know? Then we have Command Tower. Guys, check out this E-Wilds. This is one of my favorite arts. I actually just got this yesterday. Oh, yeah. Yep. I love this promo art. Guys, are you ready? I have a German Onslaught Flooded Strand signed. Yeah, I'm real excited about this. I love this. Oh, it makes me so happy. Then we have Hollowed Fountain. This is the only shotgun that I have in the deck, and I just had these because I had these left over from Blue-White Control when I was playing Modern. Then we have Reliquary Tower because there is a bit of card draw, and especially if you're blinking your card draw effects, you can draw a lot of cards, so I think Reliquary Tower is a really good card to have. Then we have Seaside Citadel, Temple of Enlightenment, and Temple of Plenty. Terramorphic Expanse. I'm not going over the mana base too much in depth, y'all, because it's pretty straightforward. Warped Landscape. And that is it for the basics and other lands. I run 35. It's pretty standard. I don't really run more in like any of my decks or less. 35 is kind of like my sweet spot. And that's just basically what I found. I feel like not that I don't get mana screwed, but I feel like I rarely can get like mana screwed. Okay. Then we get into enchantments. I only run 3 enchantments in this deck, and the first is Asceticism. I really like this card. This card is like literally $14, which is freaking insane. I feel like this card really needs a reprint. It's only been printed once actually in Scars, so I feel like it totally needs a reprint, but this card is really good. I like totally blew someone out yesterday because I had Asceticism out and someone tried to target my thing and I like pointed to it and they were like, oh. And I was like, yeah, I can't target my stuff. Asceticism is boss. I really like it. Aura Shards. Okay. This is a card that, like, I feel like if you're building Roon and, like, you do want to do budget, I totally get it, but I would really splurge and get Aura Shards because it's any time a creature enters the battlefield. So you literally just, like, blink something and then you get another, like, ADTBs, you get the thing, and then you blink it and then you get another trigger. Like, no one is safe when you have Aura Shards on the field. Like, Aura Shards is great in a lot of decks, but it's especially really good in Roon. And the last one is Marara's Wake. This card is another one that I'd really recommend in any type of deck where you're running green and white. I would really just recommend Marara's Wake because it doubles your mana and your stuff gets +1/+1. This card's awesome. Okay, then we're going to move on to artifacts. So the first one I have is Chromatic Lantern. Pretty straightforward. Okay, then we have Conjurer's Closet. Also, a fun fact, y'all. This foil Conjurer's Closet, y'all, is $18. I feel like I bought it and it was like 10. I'm like, what on earth? This is a really, really good card in Roon. It's definitely really essential because you get to blink something. Again, it seems like it's a lot of mana, but honestly, this card's just real good. I like it. Then we have Panharmonicon. Yes, an absolute staple in Roon. You totally need this card. Sol Ring, yeah. Striconic Resonator. This card is really, really good. I like it a lot. And it's really good if you have like things that make your stuff untap. You have like Seedborn Muse and stuff in here, which we'll talk about when we get to creatures. And this is like really good for that because then this like untaps too. You could do it every turn. Striconic Resonator every turn seems real good. Swiftfoot Boots. Thought Vessel. 1000-Year Elixir. I feel like this is a kind of lesser known card, but I really like it. I like it because the first ability is definitely good if you're casting Roon and you like have extra mana left over and you want to blink something that turn. Also really good if you have Seedborn Muse, but also just untapping something can be really, really strong. I really like this card. I think it's good. And the last artifact is Thran Dynamo. You don't really have that, like, I don't really have that much mana rocks because I feel like you run so many mana accelerate, like, dorks, and I feel like it's just, like, not very essential, you know? All right, now we get into sorceries. So we get into removal, super fun. Akroma's Vengeance. This is one of my favorite board wipes of all time. I love it, and I love this art. It's so pretty. Then we have Day of Judgment. Not a whole lot to say. And Hostilities. One of my all-time favorite board wipes, which is Hour of Revelation. This card is so boss, y'all. Like, oh my god, it's so good. I love this card so much. Then we have Play of the Game. This is a newer board wipe. Like, to me, I feel like I've never drawn this card, though. But, like, guys, like, who cares that it's, like, 8 mana? You're playing EDH. Like, you don't care. Exiling everything for that mana sounds good to me. And then we have Ponder. And last but not least, Supreme Verdict, a total essential whenever you're running these colors because it can't be countered. Okay, now we are moving on to instants. So the first one is Beast Within. I really love Beast Within. I would really recommend this card. It's also been reprinted, so I feel like it's not very expensive. I feel like it's like $4. Really, really good. I like this card a lot. It destroys anything, which is good. It can destroy a land, too, if you need it to. Then we have Blue Sun Zenith because who doesn't like drawing a million magic cards? Then we have Brainstorm because going with the theme, I love drawing magic cards. Okay, then we have Crush Contraband. I feel like this card is so good and I feel like I don't see anyone else running it. Let me know if you guys run this card. I think it's so amazing because you can exile both an artifact and an enchantment for 4 mana. It's a better version of Return to Dust, and it also does say choose one or both. So if like there is only for some reason one artifact on the board, you know, you can definitely just do one. Okay, then we have Eerie Interlude. Guys, this card is so good. Like, it's amazing because it's any number of cards. So it's like a mini Brago effect, but if you don't have Brago on board and you have this, it's so good. It's also, like, one thing that's really good about blinking is, like, if someone goes to, like, destroy your thing, you just, like, blink in a response. It's, like, so dumb. I love it. It's dumb as in I love it, you know? Then we have Eldamarais. I don't really know how to say that. Called. This card is really, really good. I like it. It's a really good tutor. Path to Exile, of course. Then we have Pongnify and very similar Rapid Hybridization. I really, really love these cards. It's really good. Like, they're super cheap in terms of, like mana cost. And they get a 3/3, but, like, you don't even care. Like, the thing you're destroying is way better than the 3/3 that you're giving them, you know? So these cards are really good. And then we have Sphinx's Revelation, of course. I love this card a lot. I feel like I just haven't drawn this card, which is a huge bummer recently. I don't know. Sphinx's Rev is like one of my favorite magic cards. Then we have Swords to Plowshare. This card's great. And the last instant is Worldly Tutor. Really, really excellent card. You can get anything that you need, any creature that you need in like any type of situation, which is awesome. So Now we're gonna get into creatures, which is, I always save creatures for last because honestly, I feel like that's the best part. I run 33 creatures in my deck. Again, a lot of them are pretty straightforward. Oh, also, I meant to say this at the beginning of the video, y'all, and I totally forgot, but I don't have a Crater Hoof Behemoth, so don't, like, yell at me in the comments below. I know, it's one of the magic cards that I've wanted. If you watch my magic wishlist video, it's one of the magic cards that I've wanted for the longest period of time. I just don't own one. It's maybe the next time I buy magic cards, TBD, y'all, TBD. Okay, the first card is Acidic Slime. This card's awesome. I love it. It can destroy, like, anything, which is so good. This is a new card for me, and I don't think I've actually drawn it, so I can't speak for its performance, but Angel of Condemption. I don't know why I struggled over that word. So it's a 3/3 Flying Vigilance, and you can exile a creature, and then you can exert it and then exile another target creature until it leaves the battlefield. So it's kind of weird. Like, the last effect I feel like is better for, like, your opponent's stuff, or maybe if you're gonna board wipe. I don't really know. Like, it's different. I feel like this is a very like situational, like, type of card. Like, it depends on, like, what's going on. But honestly, if I draw this card and if I use it, I'm probably just gonna be doing the first ability, you know, because it's another free blink ability, which is awesome. Angel of Finality, because honestly, you just kind of really have to stop your opponent from just, like, having a graveyard. And if you have Angel of Finality, it is so easy to, like, be like, yeah, no, you don't have a graveyard. It's so mean. Oh, I love that card, though. Okay, I have the most beat up Avenger of Zendikar in the world. I just really need to show y'all, because it's, like, look at this. It's, like, so destroyed. The top is, like, so damaged and destroyed. But this card's a house. This is such a great win condition. This is, like, one of the, like, there's so many ways that you could win in this deck, but, like, Avenger of Zendikar is probably, like, one of the major ways that you win, because you just pumps out so many tokens, and then you blink it. Okay, y'all, Brago. Hell yeah, Brago's amazing. I feel like this card is just so mean and so busted, because you can just literally exile any number if it deals combat damage, and it's got flying, and it's got evasion, which is so good. Oh, I love Brago so much. He's just, oh, he's so good. I feel like I have a lot of, like, 1/1s in this deck, and it's kind of, like, cute, because I feel like people are like, you're so threatening, and I'm like, I have a Coiling Oracle on board. This card's fire, though, y'all. Love this card. Okay, and then we have Elvish Visionary. This card's really, really good. There's a card that's similar to this, and it's white, and I don't remember, and I think it came out in the same set, too. So if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. But it's like 80 TBs, and you give your team, like, +2/+2 or something like that. This is like a mini Crater Hoof Behemoth. I have yet to cast this, so I don't know. But this card seems really, really good. No, it's not Crater Hoof Behemoth, but, like, it's pretty good, I feel like, for what it is. It seems like it's kind of a lot of mana, but, like, I don't think you ramp in this deck. Like, you blink your mana dorks and you get there, you know? Then we have Afara, God of the Police. There are a few cards in here that don't have, like, enter the battlefield effects, and this is one of them, but this is a really good card in terms of, like, drawing other cards, because you have so many creatures, like, entering the battlefield, and especially if you have, like, Seedborn Muse. Seedborn Muse literally sets this deck, like, apart. Like, it just makes it so much better if you have it on the field, you know. Eternal Witness, because would I be even honestly a person if I didn't run Eternal Witness in any green deck? Farhaven Elf, of course, need this card in the deck. It's really good. Then we have Flicker Wisp. Yes, I'm so happy that I finally get to play with Flicker Wisp. This card is really good. It's also a 3/1, so it's a pretty nice body, and it's got flying too. Green Warden of Marassa, because honestly, what's better than, like, having Eternal Witness, but having, like, double Eternal Witness? You know what I mean? It's also really good because you can just blink this and then you can keep getting stuff. So good. If someone, like, destroys your stuff. Hornet Queen. Oh my gosh. Guys, Hornet Queen. The other day, I, like, totally blew so many people out because I, like, had Seedborn Muse, and so, like, I was, like, every turn, like, blinking Hornet Queen with, like, Miss Meadow Witch, and it was, like, so stupid, but I loved it. It was, like, when I say stupid, I mean, like, it was stupid as in great. Does that make sense? Okay, Lavinia. Guys, this card is so good. It, like, if you blink this, it just is such a good thing. Like, you it ATBs and then you detain. I feel like this is, like, an interesting mechanic. I feel like not everyone knows what it is, but, like, basically it says that they can't attack or block and their activated abilities can't be activated, so it's anything 4 or less. So it's really, really good against multiple people, and it says each opponent too, so it's, like, everyone. Then we get into Mist Meadow Witch. Yes, this card's amazing. This is another blink engine, and what I really like about this card too is that it's not a tap ability. So if you have like, and I've been in instances where I've blinked 2 things because I've had like 8 or more mana, so I've been able to do that. Yeah, this Meadow Witch is fire. Then we have Muldrifter because, I mean, yeah. Then we also have Mystic Snake. I really need to get for this deck the new Frilled Mystic because it's the same thing as Mystic Snake. It's just a 3/2 and it's like double blue and double green. I really need to get it in this deck too because I want another counterspell, but Mystic Snake is really, really good. This is such a good card to like blink and like totally stop your opponents. You just have like so many different angles in this deck. I really love it. Then we have Prime Speaker Zagana. Oh my god. This is like one of my favorite Magic cards of all time. Like I run Prime Speaker Zagana in 3 of my decks. I run her here, I run her in Ladies, and I run her in Merfolk, because she's a Merfolk. She's awesome. She's a wizard too. She's savage. Then we have Reclamation Sage. I also need to get Knight of Autumn for this deck too, because that does the things that Rex Sage does, but it also does like gain life and put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, I think. Yeah, Rex Sage is amazing. I love it. Then we have Restoration Angel, one of my personal favorites. One of the best things I really love doing in this deck with like things like Restoration Angel is like someone goes to like destroy something and then you blink it in response, which is really good, and then you're left with a 3/4 flyer. Like Restoration Angel is definitely one of the best cards in the deck. I'm so pumped that I have Revel Arc. I finally gotten to play with this card. I think this card is so good. It leaves the battlefield and you can return up to 2 creatures with power 2 or less. You have so many creatures in here that are power 2 or less. Like, you really just, you are able to target so many things in this deck with Revel Arc, which is awesome. I love this card. Okay, I've been mentioning Seedborn Muse the whole time. I would really recommend getting a Seedborn Muse. She's so good. Every green deck in Magic honestly needs a Seedborn Muse in it. Like, I feel like if I owned like a million foil Seedborn Muses, my life would just be honestly complete. Then we get into Solemn Simulacrum, i.e. Sad Robot. I love Solemn in this deck. It's so good. I kind of wish it said when it leaves the battlefield you draw a card, because that would just be so busted, but you know. It is what it is. Solemn is still really good. Okay, one of the few not ETB things in the deck is Soul of the Harvest. This card is so good. Whatever a non-token creature, I don't think I have like anything that really produces tokens in this deck. So you're always going to be drawing cards. So it's really good because you can like have a creature into the battlefield, blink it, and then draw another card, you know? So you're just like drawing cards all the time. Then we have Soul's Attendant. This card like may not seem very good, but it's super good because again, you're blinking so many things. It's also really good if you have like Avenger of Zendikar or Hornet Queen out and you just draw like you gain all the life. Stonehorn Dignitary. This card is boss, y'all. It enters the battlefield and then the target opponent skips their combat phase. This is a really good defensive card. One thing I like about this deck too is I feel like I have a variety of answers. Like I have a variety of ways to deal with things. Like I have like gain life. I have like destroying artifacts. I have like getting rid of enchantments. Like, you know, big dudes. I also have small dudes. Like I feel like this deck is so versatile and I really like it. Terastodon. Oh my god, I think like Paul and I were playing a couple weeks ago and I had Terastodon and I like literally destroyed like 9 of his lands. It was like the best thing ever. I thought it was great. He was not too happy, but I thought it was awesome. Oh, Thragtusk. Yes, I am so happy that I got the chance to play with Thragtusk again because I like played with it in, I think it was Yisan. I had it in Yisan. If you guys remember, I had a Yisan deck a while back. And I was like, oh, like, I love this card. And then I took that deck apart and I hadn't played with it in a while. And I'm like, yes, I love Thragtusk. He's so good. You draw life, you get a 3/3, and it also says leaves the battlefield. Fencer, because this card's really good. It's, again, for multiple things. I like that you can target your stuff or you can target someone else's stuff, which is so good. I like this card a lot. Okay, we're almost done. Then we have Wall of Blossoms. I really love this card. I feel like versatility-wise, this is great. It's a great chump blocker. It's really good to keep blinking this. And very similarly, I have Wall of Omens. I really, really like these cards a lot. And the last card is Wood Elves. I like this a lot. It also says Forest, and it doesn't come into the battlefield tap, which is awesome. Alright, y'all, that's it. That's it for my Roon deck. I feel like there's nothing on here that's absolutely earth-shattering, crazy, like, oh my goodness, this card I didn't even think of anyone would run. But I feel like I still do really love this deck, and I've definitely blown a lot of people out with it. I feel like it has a lot of really good answers. I feel like the removal suite in this is, like, super good. You have a variety of things to deal with. you know, your opponent's things. And someone was saying, like, oh, like, how do you deal with, like, a card like Torpor Orb? And, like, I don't really have, like, my playgroup doesn't really do that. That would only be for someone that I'm playing against that I don't normally play, if that makes sense. Like, on the regular, my playgroup, we don't run cards like that, so it's just not something that I'm really going to run into. But I feel like power level-wise, this is really on par with a lot of my friends. I feel like I kind of like think about this too when like someone asked me like what they thought like my Zagana deck was like power level, and it's really hard for me to like answer that question because I feel like everyone's 1 through 10 looks like so different. And like if we're ranking like 10 being like super oppressive, super rude, wins really consistently, wins early on, like I feel like that's like a 10. And then, you know, going down the line, I don't really know if I can answer that question. I feel like it just really depends on your playgroup, but I do think that this deck is really powerful and I like it a lot. Yeah, if you guys have any recommendations, I really like it. I've mentioned a couple, like I mentioned Knight of Autumn. I need a Cyclonic Rift for this deck. There was some other cards too that I mentioned that I need, but yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.